creating two of his favourite dividing lines. One of them is, again, essentially what he's saying is, look, are you for dealing with the war on drugs or are you not? Because these are people who are bringing in narcotics into our country, they're part of the drugs trade, therefore we're entitled to take them out. Are you with us or are you against us? And that's basically where he likes to be. And then the second issue is this thing called TPS, which is temporary protected status. So you've got over 250,000 Venezuelans in the States, and they're not winning everything in the courts. And one of the shocking things that happened this week, not directly related to this, but was the house of a judge who had stood in the way of one of Trump's decisions, literally going up in flames. Terrifying. The judge with her family still in the house, apparently this house literally going up in flames. So this is about basically signalling another dividing line, because of course a lot of these people came in during the Biden regime. So it allows him basically to say, we are dealing with problems that we've inherited. And he then adds the point, and I said I would. So he's sort of giving himself the cover by saying, I said I'd do this when I was running for office. I'm now doing it. And basically the details of whether I need approval, whether it's legal or not, you're either with me or against me.
I'm really beginning to sense how much people's giving up on basic ideas of law, the rule of law, right? I had a friend who's a Harvard graduate from a liberal family, an American, came over to see me last week, and she said to me, Rory, why are you so upset with what he's doing? Because actually there have been reports that there was some cocaine floating around in the water after they hit the boat, so they were guilty. Right? And I'm thinking, what the hell has happened here? Right? I mean, all of us were sort of supposed to be brought up from childhood to say, I can't go into the streets in Britain, shoot someone with no evidence, no arrest warrant, no legal process, and then say, well, anyway, some drugs were found on things, so it's all justified, right? The fact that a liberal Harvard-educated person is now beginning to buy into that narrative, it effectively means there is no limit at all on what they do abroad and at home. And I'd love to do this with you maybe in more detail next week or the week after, is to look at what's happening with ICE. $160 billion has now been voted for immigration enforcement. The budget of this ICE body, this crazy immigration...
It's got a middle power defense budget.
Yeah, it's higher than any military except the US and China annually, as the new calculation. These agents are masked, completely unaccountable. No civil cases can be brought against them. Basically, no criminal cases can be brought against them because that would require Trump's Department of Justice to go after them. Advertising with full-on white nationalist, mid-19th century stuff. One of their advertising posters represents the white American angel with a group of settlers chasing off Native Americans off their land with protect the homeland, protect the heritage.
Wow, yeah. And I mean, I'm trying to spend a lot less time on social media, with some success, I have to say. But whenever I do go on there, you're seeing relentless videos of... I saw one the other day, and you've got to be careful, because you never know what's fake and what's not. But it was two people, I think, in Portland, where he says they're at war in Portland, which managed to run a very successful marathon the weekend with tens of thousands of people taking part in this war. But the two protesters standing there face to face with a couple of ICE people, one of whom suddenly just got out pepper spray and sprayed in the face. Lots of people just being dragged out of buildings. And I think, we talked about Kemi Badenoch on the main podcast, I think she made a mistake in saying that this deportation plan that she's talking about is going to be modelled on ICE. I don't feel that Britain is quite in the place to accept this sort of stuff. And the other sort of Trumpian crossover to our politics was Kent County Council this week, saying they're going to have to put up council tax because, hey, guess what? It turns out that all this wasted money that they said they were going to find, they've not been able to find it.
That's quite a jump from ICE going...
No, because what it is Badenoch and Farage saying we're going to model our approach on what Trump has done, ICE and Doge.
Right.
Well, life is more complicated.
The Doge myth, yeah. So just to reinforce why you're completely right on ICE and why nobody should ever vote.
हेलो पता नहीं हाँ कितना दूर है हाँ कितना दूर है
The question highlights is, it is a big part of what's wrong with American politics right now. And we've got something similar here, but I think there it's on a different level. We talked last week about, Trump had the meeting with the Democrat leaders from Congress and immediately put out this AI video of them ridiculing them, basically. So that, they're blaming Trump and saying he doesn't want the government to carry on because it means it gives him an excuse to cut budgets. And he talks about, these I call them Democrat layoffs. They're Democrat layoffs. They're causing it. So it's absolutely, this is a consequence as well as a cause of polarization. The way that Trump talks about these, it's almost as if all government spending is bad. Unless it's something that's one of his little pet projects. And of course, there's the other thing. You've got so many times when he was on the record when Biden was president of him basically saying if the government ever shuts down, you've got to blame the president because of course now that it's him doing it, it's very, very different.
Alice Palmer, and I'd love to hear from you on this. What are Macron's options now his prime minister has resigned after 26 days? Can you give us a brief explain on what the hell is going on in French politics and try to keep people up to date? We did interview on Leading